No.
So the board of finance meeting, so she unfortunately couldn't be here tonight. So I can second. Jenna Valley.
Jenna Ballard.
Valby.
Valerie, hi, Jenna Ballard. Thank you for joining. Nick, please.
Good evening, everybody. We're going to call this meeting to order. Thank you for coming. Tonight is going to be night one of our budget joint meetings with the Board of Finance and the Board of Selectmen. Thank you all for coming. The time now is 7 p.m. We do have a lot of stuff to get through tonight. And just like every meeting, calling the meeting to order and a quick pledge of allegiance is in order. So let's rise to the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, before we get started, we have some new technology, our OWL technology. This is an AI-based camera system that follows voice noise. So I will say, let's keep our side conversations to a minimum. Well, obviously we have a great dynamic here. You know, we'll have our normal order here. This is a very unique situation because we have a new board on our side, and you guys are quite the veteran board, so to say. So we'll start with the roll call. We'll start with the Board of Selectmen and then move on to the Chair of Board of Finance and subsequently thereafter. Nick Dunny, first Selectman.
Larry Consiglio, Selectman.
Jeff Bolte, are you on Zoom?
Hold on.
Do not see him on the list. Okay, we're gonna mark him as out. Board of Finance.
And for the Board of Finance, we'll let the record show that four of us are here in the room. Brian, Ken, Steve, and Rob. And Nikki will be joining us. She's taking care of some personal matters, so we'll record when she enters the meeting. And then we have Jenna Valby here from the school.
Welcome.
Sitting in Bayham, so thank you for coming.
Awesome, thank you, welcome, that's awesome, good opportunity. Before we get started into citizens' comments, tonight is all about efficiency. I know we all wanna be here, perfect. I know we all wanna get through this. Try to keep your presentations to 3 to 5 minutes, brass tacks. There was a pre-packaged paperwork that we're all given. We do have our homework in front of us, we should have studied that. Tonight isn't about making changes, it's simply about presentation. So we're here, let's get out of here, you know, we have a quick night, hopefully we can be out of here by 9 and be efficient. Rob?
Not a lot more to add. I appreciate the pre-read. And that's a shout out to Bill. He does a great job.
Great job.
Pre-read helps if we can get to look at these modules for the 4 meetings. This is our second or third year. I think it's our second year doing the joint.
Second, I think so.
And it worked out really well last year. So I'm looking forward to hearing from everybody this year as well. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, you're welcome. Remember, we're all peers here, we're all on the same team. Don't be nervous, we're all working through this together. All right, we'll move on to citizen comments. We'll start in the Zoom room. Does anyone in the Zoom room have any citizen comments? Please feel free to make that chat in the chat and we can unmute you and get you going on citizen comments. Citizen comments going once in the Zoom, going twice. All right, showing no citizen comments. From the audience, do we have any citizen comments before we get started? Showing no citizen comments. All right, let's move on to budget presentation, the most exciting thing of the night. Paul Hopkins, you are up first, A and B. We'll start with assessor and then Board of Assessment Appeals.
Page 15.
So this year it's much less exciting than it was last year. Thankfully, I think for most of us, there's not much that has changed in our budget this year. One of the changes was our GIS maintenance and update program. The reason for that change is that a new number came directly from NECOG, who is our new GIS vendor. And they've been working diligently this year to make sure that the program continues to push forward and become improved. One of the other changes that we did was to books and periodicals. We did lower that slightly. And the reason for that is we no longer have to, we only value motor vehicles by MSRP. So the year that it's new, that vehicle's value stays what that is. So we only need to obtain prices for new vehicles. So we don't have to have a historic value guide any longer. So this has been reduced slightly due to the fact that we don't have to buy as many books as we have had to in the past. Office supplies, we're doing a lot more mailings seemingly now than we ever have, mostly in reference to found motor vehicles, out-of-state motor vehicles, unregistered equipment. So we're doing usually 2 additional mailings that I've noticed during the year to compensate for those items that we're finding. Other than that, pretty much I think the budget was just about the same as it was last year.
Perfect. Any questions from either of the boards? Directed at Paul.
And just overall, you're assuming a 3% salary increase kind of for everybody at this stage. All right, thank you.
All right.
Paul has the next one.
Yeah.
On the Board of Assessment Appeals, page 16.
And just note to the record, Jeffrey Boldy is on Zoom. Let the record reflect.
That before or after Dwight called, I just like that for the record.
That would be subsequently after, for the record. All right, Paul, you're ready to go for the next one.
So the only change that we did here was to office supplies, as we removed it since all the office supplies that the BAA uses comes out of my office. So we aren't really using their supply line because it's generally minimal in a non-revaluation year. So that was the only change to their budget.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Showing no questions. Paul, thank you for your hard work,
Thank you.
as always.
Oh, my quick side note, 2% increase in the grand list this year. So not too bad for the first year out of a rebound.
Awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks very much.
All right, we're gonna go to line C, John Noley, building official.
Page 33.
Okay, we have a lot going on in the town this year. It looks like St. Joe's School is starting the renovations. They're talking about getting the mill going. So we have some changes in the budget, and we are looking at a couple of new line items. First and foremost would be to try to get an assistant building official and to give me a hand. I'm spread pretty thin with everything that's going on in the town. We are looking to put that in for $15,000 for an assistant building official, and it would be on an as-needed basis. Let's see. A contracted building official, which would be an actual building official. We have Woodstock, Paul Feig, that fills in for me if something happens, if I'm not around, emergency calls and so forth. We are looking to increase that to a total for the year of $3,500. And that would be line 15. Advertising. We're putting in for $500 this year so we can start putting out notifications to the public, things they should be aware of when they're pulling a building permit, what to look for, things that we have going on, policies in the building department. As simple as making sure they stop putting their numbers back on their houses, which helps with our emergency services, fire department. And that would be line 16. That would be for advertising. Let's see, 15. Line 21 would be equipment. We're still trying to get a file cabinet, a fireproof file cabinet. Right now we have 1.5 file cabinets filled that are not fireproof. We are mandated, to my knowledge, it has to be fireproof because these documents don't leave the town hall and they're not in a vault. We are looking again this year for the 4th year for $3,500. We could get something used. We've done a little research for about $1,700. But there's shipping costs involved with that, and we're not sure exactly what we would be getting. So we're putting in for that again for a new file cabinet. Other than that, none of the other line items have changed.
Alrighty, does anybody have any questions?
Actually, I have a few questions.
Great.
Sir? Kind of going in reverse order. On the cabinet, is there an opportunity to digitize the documents and have backup of that so that you always have preservation?
It's possible. I don't know what would be involved or what the cost would be for something like that. And if permit link goes down or something like that, we have the paper documents. We have,
I'm thinking more backup if there's a fire. Not
Well-
to go to the digital, but you still use your paper.
no, I get that. Would definitely would be a help if there was something like that, some type of program that we could do that. I don't have any information on that because it hasn't been brought across my desk to start looking into that.
Okay.
That was gonna be my question too.
Yeah, the other question was, I should probably know this, but been in town a long time, I haven't done anything major on the house. When you pull a permit, is that relatively automated? Or is it still, is it more of a manual paper process?
No, it's automated. It's all done through permit link. And our job is to collect the documentation, whether it be the homeowner pulling the permit themselves or contractor, and us verifying licensure, insurances, proper documentation, and doing plan
It's
reviews.
done digitally, but.
That's all done through permit link. It's been that way since 2021.
My last question, sorry guys, I'm taking a lot of questions, but is there an opportunity, I understand the assistant building official is there because the workload's there. Is there an opportunity to use that more on a contract basis? In other words, take the Woodstock or other towns and do, if you do it on a contract basis, it might be easier to ebb and flow that up and down
Sure.
as demand changes. Almost like with temp labor. Is there an opportunity to do that versus bringing in through hire?
Absolutely. That would be, I don't get any time. I'm on call 24/7.
I'm not questioning
No.
the need.
No. That's fine. It would be on an as-needed basis. But yeah, definitely. That is, I'm wide open to that. However, I just don't know what's going to be involved as this mill project begins. That, as the fire marshal, we won't have time to spend what's needed there every day to verify things. And an assistant based on a as-needed position, would definitely help. It wouldn't have to be a new hire. And these assistants at this point, based on one of the state statutes, we could bring in, they don't have to be, it could be a contractor that I know or I've worked with that is specific, whether it's electrical, plumbing, or mechanical, to go do either a rough or a very basic inspection, give it to me, and then I would do the portion of it that's required by the building official.
Excellent.
I just have a quick, John, obviously there's a huge uptick in permits and your workload has dramatically increased and I respect the need. Do you happen to have a figure of the gross amount of money you've brought in, say in the last fiscal year, in like a comparison from last year to this year for?
Bill would have.
Okay,
So,
to justify.
John's budget from a building permit perspective was 190,000 this year. We're tracking to come in like just below that, and that's obviously a projection. So it looks like you're gonna hit that for this year. That's up from, I wanna say it was $160,000 last year. So we've seen a nice increase there, and consistent with what was expected for the budget.
Let me just interject quickly, because you weren't here last year, there was quite a big climb in the
Yes.
expense side of the building office last year. But there was a lot of work that, some of it that was backed up, and the revenue at that time was projected to, this was all part of the plan last year when you came in. 'Cause
Correct.
we said, "Look, we need people in here to kind of get some of that past stuff cleaned up."
Yep.
So
Steve?
I wonder if you might explain to me the contracted building official. You're asking for basically triple what you're gonna use usually.
One of them is for an assistant, which would either be a licensed assistant or just an assistant that would have knowledge in the field. The actual building official would be someone that if I could not make it or if something happened to me, I was hospitalized, would go to an emergency call, would be able to make the call when he's with the fire department or EMS services. If a car hits a house, there's an electrical issue, can they go back in the building? That's what I have to go to for all these calls and make that determination. So it has to be a licensed building official. It cannot be just a contractor or someone to go in there. The fire marshal can make that call, but 9 out of 10 times they're either on the phone with me to get there or,
I guess my
Yes,
question
sir.
though is, why do we expect to have triple the amount of contracted building official costs next year? This year, we're gonna spend about $1,200 less than.
we had it in for 1,600 last year.
Well, we're only gonna spend 12 for the current year.
Mhm.
The expectation is $1,200 roughly.
Right.
Yeah.
We wanna spend triple that this coming year.
This year,
That's
yep,
my question.
yeah. Because there's a lot going on that I cannot handle. I'm putting in well over 50 hours a week. And I need someone that can come in and fill in for me. That's what that triple would be. I've been very cautious on spending that
That's happening
money.
this year.
Hmm?
That year, that's happening this year, swamped this year.
I'm swamped since I've started here.
And I appreciate that, don't take this wrong. But if you're swamped this year and you need roughly $1,200 of contracted building official expense, why next year will you need triple that?
Because if that mill is going on, there's gonna be a lot of time spent in that mill.
So the workload is gonna get even bigger next year, is.
Oh, I would expect it to almost triple the workload next year.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions on the table? Showing no other questions. John, thank you.
A comment, a question?
Oh, go.
I wanted to thank you as well, but you should take some time off. No, I'm not joking, like, no one should be working every week of the whole year. And life will go on, if something's gotta wait a few days, it waits a few days. No, I'm being serious.
Will it?
It's gonna have to, I mean,
Yeah.
at some point, burnout hits everybody at some point, maybe it's a whole year for you, maybe by next year you burn out. Everybody burns out, so.
I understand and I appreciate that. Thank you.
John, I appreciate the amazing presentation and your continued hard work.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. All right. Next, Steve Benoit, Emergency Management.
Page 24.
Okay, before we start here, I made a mistake. On line 5, radios and alarms, I put 400, that should have been 450. And the increase of the 90 for training, because we're training the constables with CPR, traffic training and everything, and that cost. So really, it's only gonna be, $90 increase. You guys should be I'm not gonna guarantee it. But you should be getting around 22,000 in soon from the grant we put in for. And another 23 from the 2023 grant. See, they're like 3 years behind on everything.
What was the grant?
The grant was a $25,000 grant for the radios, furniture, and everything moved upstairs, computers, the TVs in the room next door to us, situation room.
We had made a motion to approve to move on loaning that.
Yeah.
money.
No, I just wanted to clarify.
We didn't get a chance to spend the whole 25 because they didn't start the grant on time, but they ended it on time.
And then the 22 and the 23 is the same.
Yeah. And the 2,300 would become from the 2023 grant,
23 or 23,000?
2,300. The first one is 22,000. Second one is 2,300. Because we had to have a radio repaired, that they said, just get it repaired and send us the bill. Well, I got it repaired, send them the bill, they said, oh, we can't pay this, we'll have to revise your 2023 grant. So that's gonna be going into there. So we already spent that money for this year.
That money's coming back.
It's coming back, yeah.
Okay, do you have anything else to add to your overall budget?
No,
budget?
like I said, the only was that one correction that I noticed tonight. I looked at this thing like 4 times.
I already put it in, Steve.
Okay, thanks.
Does anyone have any further?
If I might,
Yes.
I see that the only actual number I think we have here is on above that supplies, kind of a minor number here. But we spent $440 in 25. We want $1,600 next
That's the line 9, Steve.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We went up to 1,600.
Yeah.
We spent 440 and.
25.
The year that, right, just ended,
26,
and we're asking for 1,600 now.
yeah. We have more supplies for radios and things, repairs and that.
Well, this is supplies, I guess repairs.
Yeah.
Somewhere else.
Supplies would also be protective equipment for the constables. We had to buy them jackets this year at $70 a piece, and we bought 9 of them. So we gotta buy them gloves, vest, shirts, badges.
Is that a one-time
Jackets.
thing, or do you?
Yeah.
do that every year?
Hopefully it's not every year,
All
as
right,
long as
so
we don't
then-
keep losing
So then I
people.
might ask again, why $1,600 next year?
Because we got new people coming on this year too, for constables.
Yeah, we're increasing our constables. We put a posting out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think so. We got 1 so far.
So we are buying again?
Yeah, oh yeah. And that's kind of to make up also, but at 2,300, we lost out of the grant, out of this year's money. Because we had to pay for the radios,
Any other questions for this fine gentleman?
No, overall, his budget's going up by $40.
$90.
No, it's actually 40.
No, you gotta add the
Because it
50,
decreased
add the 50 in.
50.
Add the
on
50
Add
in.
it, he just said it was 450 now.
450.
450.
And I missed some.
My fingers were,
Typo.
That is fine.
Your point is right.
my fingers were going crazy. It's only a $90 increase. But we wouldn't have been able to get what we have up there now without that grant. I appreciate it. You guys put the money on the side and just,
Yeah, we're good.
I just love to pay, get them to pay it on time, but that's not gonna
All
happen.
good. All righty.
Out of your control.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair.
thanks.
Thank you, Steve, for your hard work. All right,
I'm with.
oh,
He added $50, okay, projected for 27. All right, for 450. The bottom line in that line item is 4540.
No, not if you add the 50 to it.
You add the 50 to it.
We're gonna add.
I did, doesn't that bring it 4590?
Yes.
Which is 90 more than the current, the approved budget for FY 26.
4,500. I'll take Brian.
I love you.
Oh, no.
That 50's killing me.
I know.
I wish they were all that easy.
Just blame it on Bill.
Yeah. All right, so next up, E and F. Margaret Washburn, I see you're on Zoom. I'm gonna have you unmute, or we'll unmute for you. We'll start off with inland wetlands, take questions, and then move on to conservation.
Page are we on now?
46.
46.
This is Margaret. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
I'm sorry, I don't know why my image is sideways.
Oh, it's fine. All right, so we'll start with inland wetlands.
Okay. I got the 3% salary. I've got a under I'm trying to new Adobe account 3 ways with ACO and the Conservation Commission. That's under office supplies.
Line 16.
$100. It's about $100 for each of the 3 commissions. The cell phone, we have been charged about twice what we've had to pay, so we adjusted it accordingly.
Okay.
And that's about it for my presentation for this.
Okay, thank you for that presentation. In our sheets, do we have any questions for her?
The only question I have is that advertising that Margaret does, saying in the shopper's guide, et cetera. Does that have to go into the shopper's guide, or could that go on our homepage or whatever to save some advertising money?
I believe it does have to go per state statute, as a law to FOIA.
Yes, it does. They have
yes.
to law, you have to try every year.
Yes, yes. So the answer to that is unfortunately yes.
They haven't changed law.
Yeah.
Right.
Any other questions? All righty, perfect. Showing no questions. Margaret, we're gonna move on to conservation if you're good to go.
Page 47.
Okay, similarly, I'm trying to split the Adobe account 3 ways out of office supplies for $100. And the cell phone, again, was problematic where we were getting billed twice the amount we had in the budget. So my treasurer and I came up with that number to try to reflect the real bill.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right, anybody have any questions?
Question for Bill.
Bill?
Bill. Speaking of like accounts like Adobe, wouldn't that fall IT and we, kind of pull that together and get a price for the whole town versus individual groups? It seems like a topic Adobe everybody uses, right?
Typically we do. Occasionally there are, I guess, this where someone will go out and get it on their own. I don't know, Meg, did you talk to Heather at all on this one first?
No.
Okay,
This maybe is an
yeah,
opportunity.
we could keep that in mind.
I know we've had that conversation about things like Amazon accounts, Adobe accounts, licenses. There's a lot of those conversations. The site that we use for graphic design and stuff, which I can't think of off the top of my head. Canva. There's a school Canva account, there's a town hall Canva account, there's a rec Canva account. That conversation is definitely being had within this building and I think up the hill. So I think, yeah, smart.
No, and there's also opportunities where you might have, I'll make up the numbers, 25 users, but there's never more than 10 users on at the same time.
100%.
So every user doesn't have to have a full-time 100%.
100%.
So.
All right, any other questions for Meg?
Just quick for RJ, Nikki's here at 7:28. Were you on the Zoom at all?
I was not.
Okay, just put it yourself. Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome.
Welcome. All right, showing no more questions for Meg. Meg, thanks. Have a great night. Thank you for a great.
Thank you. Good luck.
All righty. All right. So next we have planning and zoning. Ryan is going to be presenting with the assistance of Cindy if he needs it.
Page 54.
Okay, hey guys, so I'll make it quick. We have planning and zoning, recording secretary budget is all the salaries are up 3% year over year. Zoning officer, same 3% increase. She works really hard and deserves every penny and probably more. Professional affiliations is just a low number there. It's $200. I believe that's for Casio dues. Meetings and fees, we put at $250. We're just keeping all these flat across the board. It's actually down significantly from fiscal year 25. Telephones, everybody has cell phones. Professional services is the only one that I really want to highlight. We did keep that one flat year over year, and I want to just say that this owl right here, what came out of that. So that was the reason why, our numbers what it is on that. So that was what we used because we had an excess. That money is typically used for engineering and legal services. That's the main purpose of that. So I think that we may see an uptick a little bit in that this year with said projects that are going on. So we'll see how that goes. Other than that, we have advertising, which is we put out, we have to put out advertising in local publications. Printing and publications budget's down 20% year over year. We tried to mark that down a little bit to 800. And yeah, that's it. So overall in the category, it's down 2.33%, mostly offsetting some of the salary increases. And the rest is just office supplies and books, periodicals, and P and Z permit refund. So bottom line is 50,962, up 2.24% year over year. We did retain last year in excess of $3,000. So we were able to not spend all of our money. And what we did is we bought the owl for the town because we wanted to have a better technology so that people can participate in government.
Any questions for Ryan? Cindy, you have anything to add?
No.
Okay. Alrighty.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ryan, for a great presentation. Alrighty. Next up, Cindy Dunn, Zoning Board of Appeals.
Page 45.
Hello, everyone.
Cindy.
Pretty simple budget for ZBA. So it decreased. One of the points of the ZBA I want to let you know is that because of the change in the zoning regulations from 2020, we have less variances. And I guess my decisions are okay because we haven't had any appeals in a few years. So, it's pretty. It went down a couple $100 from last year. Well, sorry, not a couple $100 from 26. I was looking at 25. So it basically is the same. And the only flexible in there would be the advertising for legal notices. And since we don't have that many meetings, we don't have that much expense for legal notices. Is that good enough, or do you have any questions?
I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay.
Thank you for your hard work.
All right.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Alrighty, next up, animal control. Brianna, I'm not sure if she is on Zoom.
Page 26.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Brianna, if you can, we're gonna unmute you and you can have at it.
That's their update.
Never
got
got
the aisle.
You have a number?
Oh, I'm already ahead of you.
This is a big one. Oh. Let's see.
Hi, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was just saying that some of the numbers. So in the past year, I've adopted out about 20 animals. I've reunited every animal that comes into the facility with their owner within usually a 24-hour time frame. I've had 15 wildlife calls that involve skunks and raccoons, which would be concerning for future concerns of looking at permit, license to carry, or having somebody available to help me with dispatching wildlife, because that is a high number. I have had to watch a coyote pass away because I didn't have anybody on immediate contact to dispatch the animal. I have, with looking at the budget, I'm bringing in a per diem position that has already been contracted. And we're hoping that we can bring it from per diem into part-time, because I am 24/7, 365, which makes it really difficult to handle everything all the time, even with that. Granted, there are slow times right now. Winter tends to be slower for animals in general, but the office stuff I'm doing is still extensive because I have now confirmed that the shelter itself will not survive after 2029. So I've been in the process of getting a nonprofit going to help support these extra things that are required to be operational. We've all been asking for it since the shelter reopened: uniforms, cameras, safety equipment, the Adobe software, Tough Book, updated safety equipment. It's been asked for the past few years, and it's getting to the point where we have to either start approving some of these little things so I can try and save the program itself, or I'm not sure because the catio, the school's already offered to help with the catio. Chase has offered to help donate some materials. The shed on property is useless right now. It is not weatherized. And same thing, I've had people offer to help one or the other, but I can't cover everything or ask everybody to donate everything. So I am starting the nonprofit, but the shed is critical because my donations are now getting ruined. I do not have a laundry facility, so any donation that comes in gets thrown out immediately after it's been used. The cat area, I did mention last year, we're required to have a cat area, a safe space for cats. And I've priced it out and I can build a catio with supplies, not including donated, but probably about $500 to hold 4 cats and be in a safe space, not interacting with the dogs. And it would be a dual environment where it'd be safe to clean. Like I said, we are hoping to bring in a part-time, bump up the per diem next year to part-time because we do need assistance. I do need coverage and I do need help with calls. And I can't have volunteers do my calls, given the nature of what I do. You have to have specific training. And First Selectman has quite his hands full already and shouldn't be my backup when I have to have an animal in distress or a lift assist or anything like that that requires a second person.
All right.
I think that's it.
Alrighty, couple point of clarifications, because I know Brianna and I and Marie kind of worked on this together. You'll see it at line 12, just to clarify, was money that we allocated last year for per diem animal control officer that we never acted on. I did explore this with Brianna and Marie and Bill. We did post for that position. We did subsequently have 2 interviews for this position. Now, that being said, as my calculation serves correct, that only allows us for maybe 8 hours a month for a per diem person. As you know, Brianna's on 365, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. It's unrealistic to expect that out of anyone. So this was just simply to get a second person, just to further clarify on Brianna's behalf. We will hopefully make offers in the next couple weeks, which there'll be a training precepting period, and then someone can be on their own. So that's what there is. I had suggested we go from 1,750 to a small increase of 4,500 to realistically have a good backup plan and have a redundancy option in place. The other thing that we should note is maintenance and repairs, as Brianna had stated. We do have some little upgrades that we have to do with the dog shelter to keep this viable. In one more point of clarification, the town of Thompson is not making a nonprofit. Brianna is organizing a independent board of the town of Thompson, which will be a nonprofit. The nonprofit, from my knowledge, has been filed. They have not gotten status yet, but that will be an opportunity for, say, an organization called the Friends of Thompson Animal Shelter to make charitable donations to that are tax deductible. From there, that they can make charitable donations to the town of Thompson, and it's a means of an additional funding aspect. So that was Brianna's take there. So just for a little point of clarification.
Public as well?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
For the public, yes.
Yep. The nonprofits can be for everybody. The biggest issue is the maintenance and supplies, or the maintenance and repairs. 2/3 of my budget is the porta potty. And so I'm allocated only $2,000 a month, and 1,500 of that is already gone for the porta potty. And like right now, I'm not using the porta potty because it's frozen, but we're paying for this every month. So it's really hard for me to even get certain materials or supplies because when it's all broken down, I only have about $500 left for the year to cover anything beyond the porta potty maintenance and repair expenses.
Yep. Does anyone have any questions for Brianna regarding the statements that were made?
Just a question on back to the coyote.
Go for the coyote.
So it was dying.
Yes, it was hit by a resident came home, hit it on 200. I went out immediately.
Why did you put it? put it down?
I do not have the equipment. I'm not licensed to dispatch.
Euthanized via firearm.
Yep, I do not have a firearm, and I do not, at 10 o'clock at night, I didn't have the resource to find somebody quickly that would be available to come and dispatch. So I had to wait with the coyote for about 10 minutes.
Licensed to do that, right? They just need a gun?
No,
Yes.
absolutely, they need to be licensed.
Well, license
Yes.
for a gun, but to.
And there needs to be,
Euthanize?
there needs
Yes.
to be police training. You can't discharge a firearm within so many feet of a home. You need to have a law enforcement background, a police academy, you need to
Understand that.
qualify every year. There's a lot that goes into that. Typically, Connecticut State Police handles that, if not a local partnership veterinarian. At this time, and I don't want to get into this conversation here at this presentation, but at this time, we're not gonna approach the conversation of our animal control officer carrying a gun. Lot of training and money.
Who brought that up?
It's been brought up many times.
Oh, I haven't
Yep.
heard that.
I just want to make sure that we're getting in front. If we had another $100,000 to put into
Okay,
this
we can move
budget,
on.
we would, but I just don't want to get
I
into
was
that.
just worried about the
Okay.
coyote.
Yeah,
Sure.
and a resident was too. A resident stopped because she was concerned and she wanted to bring it into Mass for treatment, and I had to advise her she couldn't. And that we unfortunately just had to let it pass. And it probably wasn't even 10 minutes. It seemed like it. It wasn't a very long time. But the situation was that a resident did want to interact and try to do the right thing, and I had to tell her she couldn't.
All right, thank you, Brianna. I appreciate your time, Brianna. Thanks for going in your hard work on this budget.
Thank you.
All right, next we have Fire Marshal's Office. We do have Jamie Sine's not here. We do have a representative. Dino's gonna be presenting tonight.
Page 22.
22.
22, thank you.
All right, good evening, everyone. Our biggest driver this year in our budget is to add a second deputy. Much like what John Nolly had said, the building official, the workload is increasing. For us, when we're at the scene of a fire to do an investigation, it's not the best or safest practice to be by yourself. You should have a second set of eyes with you. And so a lot of times if Jamie may be working or I may be working, we may have to call in a contract from, say, Putnam, Woodstock, or Pomfret to come in. They may be able to facilitate that with two investigators, or they may have one. Or if, say, Jamie's working and I'm there, I may call one of them in if we're not contacting the state police to have their fire investigation unit come out. As well as inspections, like John had said, with the mill that's supposed to be up and coming and St. Joe's, those are sites that we need to be on a daily basis to see what is going on. So now if you're going to take away an inspection that could be happening that we would do on a day-to-day in any of our normal buildings, now we're going to be tied up at another site. Other than that, it's all flat increases. I see a couple here for the secretary, which is the 3%. The same as the fire marshal. Everything else is flat across the board.
Any questions for this individual?
So when a building is being built, you have to go there every day?
Yeah, theoretically, it depends on what's happening at that time in that building. Like if there's a footing inspection for the foundation, we're not going to be there for it. But if they're running fire alarm wire and we need to go in there for fire alarm stuff, sprinklers, yeah, there's certain time. Yeah, it depends on how fast they're moving that project. So just as we can use my other job, I work full-time as a fire marshal for the town of Plainfield. They're currently building U-line. I'm up there 4 times a week.
I have 2 questions, and then Larry, I'll let you shoot. Would it be a safe assessment or a fair question to state that you anticipate an increase in your services in next year's budget, given the construction projects that we have that are not only have already started or will be started?
Yeah, inspection wise, 100%. Fire investigation wise, that's a flip of a coin. We can never guarantee how many fires we'll have.
And then my second question is, on a normal week, currently today, do you find yourself going above and beyond the allotted budget in working on a volunteer status, virtually giving more hours than you're being paid currently?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. So for myself as the deputy, I dedicate 1 day a week, 5 or 6 hours a week. Now, there have been times where I've done my Fridays but I'm coming back Friday night, or I'm coming back on Saturday, and I may be at an investigation for 4 or 5 hours, 3 hours. It all depends.
Okay. Larry, do you have any questions?
Yes, travel, 2025, it was $1,800. It's gone down considerably, which is good, but it's on a $500 budgeted for this fiscal year.
It went down because we got the fire marshal van, so that cuts the travel. So Jamie necessarily has the van,
Yeah.
and then I'll come in my own vehicle. Now, if in the off chance that I'm coming out of work, I may come up in my work truck. I'm not charging the town for mileage in that.
Gotcha.
You know, so that's where the decrease is.
Jump in, Larry, prior to that, before Jamie had the vehicle, that was all mileage
Yeah,
for his personal truck.
correct.
That's why it went down.
Yeah.
Very good.
And it's the same that I'll submit for.
In point of clarification for the board, it is mandated by the Department of Fire Services in Connecticut that you do CEUs and recertify annually. And that does include that there's a mandate to travel.
Correct, yeah, we may have to go to the other side of the state, we may have some that are online, so it's the luck of the draw on that.
Yep.
I will say that our what we've brought in permit wise, I don't know if we're kind of on track where we were last year. Last year we were 5,800, just shy of 59, and this year we're currently at 4,950.
So far, year to date.
Year to date, correct, yep.
Any other questions for Dino?
What do you charge for an inspection? If somebody has a home is being built, contractor building a home.
We do not, us as fire marshals do not inspect single or two family homes. So if you're gonna build a home, we're not coming to your home to inspect that. That's strictly on the building officials.
Three family home.
A 3-family home, we're gonna go in obviously for, the construction aspect of it. We'll charge for the CO of that, but then on an annual basis, because anything residential is every year. An annual, it's $100 for a 3-family. And those fees, I can say, are in line with pretty much everything from here to the coast. We're all in the same general area.
Probably cost us more than $100 to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe we can look at the fee structure.
That's kind of what we need to.
Yeah,
I
that's a
think
good idea.
that they were adjusted already.
Okay.
I think it was the 80s last, yeah.
I agree. And we can get on that.
Concerned about compliance, if they get too high, people.
That's the other thing is if you are too high, it might deter them. Then all that does is it forces us to get a warrant at that point. So now it's just more legwork.
And then that costs more money. Yeah,
Correct.
okay, correct.
Good.
Any other questions? All right, Dino, thank you for your presentation.
Yep.
All right, and now on to our fire departments. We're gonna start off line K, East Thompson Fire Department Chief Ron Fournier.
Page 23.
Thank you, sir.
East Thompson Fire, Ron Fournier.
All right, Ron, whenever you're ready, fella.
Okay,
Twenty-three.
how,
Let's start out this way.
so you guys, you guys just have the line item, right? So.
Yes.
Yeah, so what you can do is go from 26 to 27 and just go down the lines and just explain, like, there's little tiny bumps, right?
You don't have the breakdown, but they didn't send them, usually there's a breakdown.
For each department, we don't have that.
We don't have it.
I have copies if you need it there.
That'd be
I
great.
thought they would, okay, we can do that.
And back in the past, we go to the each department.
Okay,
Yeah, sometimes if it's emailed to you guys, it comes up on here and then we just see it.
appreciate it. I guess Marie had asked them to bring them.
That's what,
Yeah.
I just didn't,
Yeah, sorry, first time.
I just assumed it would have been,
I'm a visual learner, not
Me
a
too.
audio learner.
All good.
Don't complain about fonts, oh man. You take care.
But it's Bill, did you do this? Did you do this?
Not this time, Brian.
No, that's.
He's talking about the font size, he blames Bill.
Not to mention how nice the font is on this page.
I think it looks great.
Hey,
Brian, break it down and get.
when you have to work a little to see, it's good. Okay. Okay, so, our estimate, this year, under income, we are estimating 64,000. Last year, we brought in 63,625. Donations, usually around $1,000. We can never, it changes. Fundraising, 3,000. Town support, we were going from 82. This year, we're asking for $200,000. The Whiting Estate is we get it every year. A person, when they passed away, they put it in escrow. So every year we get a disbursement of around $2,500. Expenses, wages are estimated at 35. Last year was 34,948. Payroll taxes estimating at 7,000. Employment expenses estimating at 6,000. Accounting fees, they're around the same. 3162, we estimate 4,000. Let's see, communications, radios, with the changes in the dispatch center, the other towns have changed their radio protocols. Everyone around us is going digital. So we've had to upgrade some of our radios in order to communicate. So we're estimating 9,000. Postage, utilities, electricity, estimating at 4,000. Gas and oil, this year was 4,095. I bumped it up a little bit. We're not sure where oil prices go and stuff like that. We never know. Trash recycling, water, 600, 400. Computer expenses, last year and this year, we had to replace a couple of the power supplies that we have for the computers and stuff like that. So we have to get a couple more. Turnout, where are we? Turnout gear, $18,000. We purchase 3 sets a year to keep our staff compliant. Parts, 1,000. I'm sorry, wait a minute. Yeah, parts 1,000. Tools, 3,000. Go down to SCBA's. What's happening is several years ago we had to buy a whole bunch of SCBA's. And now we've got a lot of them that are really old, and we need to start buying one a year, because if we get to the point where they're 15 years old, we have to replace them. We can't afford a bulk purchase like that. 5 years ago, we had to take out a $70,000 loan to buy air packs because we had none that were in compliance. So we need to stay ahead of that. Pagers, I am responding, $1,900. We have a lot of pagers that are old and need to be replaced. Equipment repair, 3,000. Saws, chains, stuff like that are wearing out. Supplies, 2,000. Vehicle parts and repair, 9,000. Last year we spent $9,000. We lost a turbo in one of our trucks. It had to be replaced. The year before that, it was 13. One of the pumps in the service truck went. We had to replace that. So that we don't need as much. No mileage reimbursement. Training and education, $4,500. All our members, we have members that are going for Fire One. That's $1,200 per person. We have a couple that need to, that are going for the AMTs. Last I saw, that was like $1,600 per person. All the way down to debt service. That's what we pay out a year on our loan. And then the last one is a new line for CapEx savings. We took half of the $200,000. I've got 2 trucks that are antiques. My tanker is 29 years old. It's continually breaking down. It was just in Worcester for a couple of days for repairs. At 30 years old, it's become dangerous. I can't trust it. We already had it break down coming back from a fire. Luckily, it made it to the fire, and then we had to get it repaired after. At 30 years old, it's not trustworthy. On the next page, the long page, we put together numbers so people understand that we have trucks that are old, our SCBA's, our building needs work. We need to replace the pavement in the parking lot. It's all holes. It's all chewed up. So that's where those numbers come from. That's a breakdown of year over year, what it would actually cost. And then the last page is what's currently on hand. We do have a loan. We currently still owe $86,000 on that loan. Any questions?
I had 2 quick ones, Carl.
Yes.
Why are you going down, wondering why, and when you're going up? You have your repairs going down, and I know you highlighted the 2 major repairs that you're doing, but with the fleet getting old, typically repairs go down when you replenish the fleet. So why are you confident you only need $3,000?
Well, we're hoping we don't have to put a lot of repairs into it. I can't plan on it. Along
you today that says I think so.
Yeah, but the history is there, it's just.
I got it, Mark. I can't plan on it. I hope nothing happens. I hope we don't break down anymore, but I mean, realistically, I can't tell you that with our engine and our tanker being the age they are. I probably make it 10,000, but I can't tell you. I hope we stay at 3,000 and we only do the minor services.
I hope so too.
Yeah, you know, I mean.
The second was on the debt service, that going up. Is that a variable rate?
No, we're trying to pay more so that we're trying to get that paid off. The problem is if we go to look for a new truck, you know, you're looking at $800,000. We need to pay off the existing loan. They're not going to give us another loan.
I understand.
So we're trying to, we're trying to get rid of that as fast as we can. With still having, you know, $86,000 on the existing loan. We need to get rid of it quick.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Any further?
Thank you.
Thank you for a good presentation.
No problem, anytime.
All righty. Thompson Hill Fire Engine Company Chief Matt Grella.
I'm doing the same computers then?
These are my personal computers, but I only have small paper, so. Just noticed I ran into a problem here because I made 20 copies of that.
Just watch the court.
I made, look at this one. It's not a copy here.
You can always use a copy.
Because I made 20 of these ones.
Are these all the same?
Yes.
Yeah, we got like 8.
Yeah, that's what I made.
I can show you. Yeah, no worries. Box amongst yourselves, we'll be right back.
You fine.
Needs to make copies. There's a ton on the first sheet, but not the rest.
There you go.
Don't think about that guy.
Nah. I could tell that really affected you, Brian.
Yeah.
You gonna be able to sleep tonight?
96% of the people in Compton own a gun and a rifle. If somebody just go up there and just pop it and put it down, or being stuck and watching it die, I feel bad for her.
I'm thinking about the frozen porta potty.
Yeah, for the porta potty, all the companies say, bring me one that's thawed out and take this one back. You thawed out in your building. Yeah.
Going out.
That's my business.
If they never had the outhouses. No, no, running water and no, ones I can then do. Oh, yeah. Bro. That's why I didn't hang around up there very much.
All right, back in session with our copies. Hot off the press.
That's all right.
That's been. You need one today? Oh, don't worry about it. Thank you. Hey, Brian. David, here. It's on the string, though. You'll be one of them bigger.
All right, so as we go through this, we have no billing income, obviously. Donations, that's always a question where we just kind of go over the past years and kind of figure out what we're going to do for chicken barbecues and different things like that. So we usually keep it in kind of in line of or an average of the last few years and throw that in as an estimate. Fundraisings between boot drives and chicken barbecues, depending what we're going to do. We only did one chicken barbecue last year, and we now do the boot drive that supports Teague, so we kind of lost that money also. So town support, we're going to $200,000. Our needs haven't changed from when we tried to do the tax district. The town miscellaneous, that includes reimbursement for the ambulance housing. That's for any of the reimbursements that we get through the town through OSHA or anything like that. And also for grant reimbursement. We generally apply for at least a $2,500 state forestry grant, so that's rolled into that. If you look at last year's under the actuals on 25, we had other income was at 25,834. That was actually an insurance reimbursement. We had a pump failure last year which cost us around $29,000. Ended up being able to be put under insurance, so that was the payment reimbursement from the insurance company. As we get into expenses, yep.
Where's the renting come from for the ambulance?
In the miscellaneous under the 18.
It's part of the 18,000.
Yes.
Thank you.
Expenses, wages, obviously nothing. Payroll taxes because we have no wages. Accounting fees, normal accounting fees. The telecommunications, we are purchasing a new laptop and software, so that's what that is. As Ron has stated, all the areas are going to digital, so we are going to purchase a couple of radios And as Ron also expressed, they're very expensive, so we have $8,000 in there for also for traditional radio and for the new digital 800 radio. Everything else is just in line. They're pretty much guesstimates, electricity, gas, oil. All of that is kind of pretty much the same. Where we get into the big change is where we get down to the turnout gear. Each year, as Ron had also stated, we try to replace 3 sets a year. Last year we didn't, because we didn't receive our town reimburse, our town check till late, so we weren't sure if we were gonna do it, so that's rolled into this year. So we're actually gonna have 6 sets this year, which is gonna be $3,500 at $500 a piece, $5,000 a piece. So that's really the biggest big chunk of change that we're changing. When we get into tools, we do have some. This is also under tools. I had mentioned earlier that we apply for a it's a $5,000 grant through the state of Connecticut. It's $2,500 because the matching grant. So part of that is purchasing the $2,500 tools that we get through the state grant. And as we move through repairs on equipment, that's just normal wear and tear, whether we have to have SCBA repaired or extinguishers, that type of thing. When we get down into the building, we are getting into some more costs in the building because of the engines being there all the time. Whether it's the garage door maintenance, supplies, we don't really, supplies are basically, whether it's toilet paper and paper goods and stuff like that in the station, so there's not a big expense there. When I get down into vehicle expenses, parts and repair, we always hope to keep it low. We try to keep average. If you look back on our past years, last year we had $40,000 repair. That was a pump replacement, which we got the reimbursement from the insurance company for the $25,000. But if we don't hit anything major, we hope to keep it under $10,000. So, and again, that's a crapshoot on how we do that. Fuel, we just go by what we go over each year and either up or down depending on what the fuel costs are going to be for that year. Getting into the education and training, we have at least 2 Fire One candidates going through. It's $2,000, and then we have recertifications and additional training. I think NFPA professional dues for NFPA, office supplies, that's paper, all that kind of stuff. The medical expenses for our all of our EMS supplies, fundraising expenses. If we do have our 2 chicken barbecues, that'll be around $4,000. Again, if you look at last year, we only had the one, so it was about $1,400. Volunteer expenses, whether that's T-shirts or feeding our people after a long fire or duty. Permits, that's the health department for our chicken barbecues. And when we get down to the bottom, our net expenses for this year, we expect to be around $87,000. Again, that's $35,000 of turnout gear. And I guess that's what the problem was. I don't have the other sheet. Oh, there it is. For where that $200,000 came from, it's very similar. If everybody listened to some of the presentations we did for the tax district, a lot of the same numbers are used for this as it was for the townwide. We still have the same needs. That small print document there, it's actually a 10-year plan that was in place. And over the next 5 years, to bolster our capital fund, we need an average of $148,000 to be put into there. In 2026, our biggest capital is that 35,000. So we don't obviously need 140 the first year, but as we move into when we need to start replacing the truck, the first truck in 28, which is replacing our ET2 at roughly $800,000. It's a, I don't have the whole time to explain this whole sheet here, I guess, but we have about $500,000 in the bank for that truck that's coming due. And if you see that, we have in one of it's about in the middle of the table. You have a down payment at $350,000 down payment on that truck. And that 148 is still payments above that down payment. So we obviously do have cash on hand, but that is going to get wiped out pretty quick. As you progress through the years through 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, the expenses just keep adding up as we replace ET1, which will be, by the time it gets replaced, will be over 30 years old. And then so on and so forth through the next 5 years after that. Just to just wanted to about our apparatus that always comes up about the age. Our oldest piece of apparatus in use is 41 years old. That's our forestry unit. Originally, that was slated to be replaced in 2030. It'll be 45 years old at that point. Next, we have our rescue, which is in 1997. That'll be 31 years old when we're ready to replace that. As we work through here, we have a service truck that we also use. It was actually a donation to us about 15 years ago that somebody donated to us to cut up for training. We said, no, we're going to use that as a service truck instead, but that's going to be also over 30 years old. So we're not replacing anything, or it's not even in the plan that we're replacing anything less than 30 years old on our fleet. So I just wanted to make sure that, yes, we're asking the $200,000. But again, as in my budget, we're spending $87,000 just to operate this year. So that's kind of where that is.
Schedule.
I guess, yeah, I agree. I guess we'll move on to questions. I have a quick question. Is it a fair statement to say, and this is directed to you and all the chiefs, that order time for a piece of fire apparatus is anywhere from 3 to 4 years currently out, right?
Currently, it's 3 to 5, I've heard, but yes, it's
okay.
If you could, so that's we even though we're having the schedule here that we're going to be having a down payment in 27, 28, we're not getting a truck till after 30. So it's
I think that's important to note.
Right. It's not
long lead time, and especially long lead time to put a deposit out there and have that money just simply sit.
Yep. Not in our bank, not getting interest on it. So that's
Any other questions for this gentleman?
One other thing, I know that you're spending more on fundraising than you expect to receive.
Let me see.
$4,000 of spending, plus $40 worth of help service to check it out, and then you expect to receive $4,000. So,
well, that's not that far off, actually.
Which just goes to the fundraising is broke.
That's exactly why we don't do as much fundraising as we used to do. And I think any of the chiefs that actually still do dinners and chicken barbecues, you make hundreds of dollars off of spending thousands. It's more of a community type thing. But we can't charge $30 for a chicken dinner, unfortunately.
Mr. Steglitz has a question.
Matt, just clarification, your 2026 column here is your actual expected for 2026, not the 2027 budget. I'm specifically asking. Oh, yeah. Because I believe the $18,000 rent line is this year, correct?
No,
Okay.
it's changed since I talked to you,
Oh, okay. All right. That's why I wanted to clarify.
as of today.
Terrific.
I wasn't aware of that either, so, okay. I appreciate that.
So that's coming down.
Yes,
Great, thanks. Can I fix that right now?
yes.
For 6 months, Bill?
Chief,
Down for 6 months?
thank you for that, and your organization.
He's staying at 1,500 a month.
As long as we hear a plan.
There's a plan. It is in our capital plan, you will hear it.
That's the main thing.
A plan to execute.
Good to hear.
Yes, thank you for your hospitality in the interim.
That 1 year,
I get it.
temporary.
I get it.
All right.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Sorry, any other questions?
No, thanks, Barry.
Thank you, sir, for that great presentation. All righty, line M, Quinnebog Fire Department, Chief Steve Boudreau.
Okay. Get it done on you. Hey, Bill, I can read them.
Every time.
Yeah.
They didn't like it. Just too much.
It's just too much damage.
I wanna know who's here right now for this thing. I want to walk in.
Yo. Thank you. With the name tag that's flying. Thanks, Chief. That's fine. If we can share. Yeah, we can share. Don't worry about it. We have to, right. We can share.
Okay. So, yeah, so the estimates for income, with cell towers, we're estimating roughly 94,000. Donations 15, fundraising 15, town support 200,000. And the miscellaneous here is it's the income interest. So that brings it up to 297 change. Fences. Some of the big ones are the telecommunications, like some of the chiefs have talked about, increase in use of different radio systems, different radio frequencies and ranges. We're estimating 7,500 for radios. Utilities. It's always a big one. It seems like the more referendums we have, the more electricity we use.
Funny how that works.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, it's just the reality, but we still don't charge the town for use of the station, so. But, oil stays about this stayed about the same. It's basically AC. Moving up to turnout gear. That's always increasing. We started off buying 5 sets a year, but then there was one year that we needed a bunch, so I can show you on the other capital expense sheet what we've done. The building, we had the building, we did a ton of repairs on that. We spent $23,000 on ADA compliant sidewalks. We first put the building in, and we put the salt down, and it just kind of ate away at it, and it wasn't. So we got an estimate, finally did it, and the women for voting are happy that they don't have to step down to the sidewalk. It's straight out there now. So that was a long time coming. We just, it's a public facility basically, and it wasn't ADA compliant, so now it is. We had another expensive year for vehicle repairs. The biggest thing was it was a $23,000 repair on our ladder. We had to have the cylinders for the stabilization jacks repacked, and there was a bunch of other small things that just add up. But that was $26,000. And moving down, $3,000 for education and training. And we do have one person doing a Fire One, starting, I think it's this week, or possibly next week. The debt service is the loan on the ladder. I believe we still owe around $140,000 on that. And then miscellaneous debit card. We bought a lot of equipment for our service truck. That's why that's up around 20,000, 24,000. Moving on to the capital expenses, just in the same boat as the rest of the guys. Our equipment's getting up there in age. Just a explanation of what NFPA is saying to us about apparatus and frontline service, moving to second line service, and finally retiring after 25 years. It's a nice suggestion, but we have a 1997 International that's 29 years old, and it's back up to our forestry. So we take that off the road instead of taking a frontline piece off the road and possibly damaging that. So that's the year we're supposed to replace everything. And I didn't know where to start with estimated costs because the cost of fire apparatus is just astronomical. The 2009 Rosenbauer that we bought, we paid $329,000 for that. That truck right now is just under $1 million. So that's what we're up against with apparatus. The turnout gear, like I said, 2020 we bought 11 sets. The cost was $36,208. The estimated cost in 10 years will be $80,000. And then 21, like I said, you can read it. We bought 6 sets in 21, 2 sets, 1 set further down. And, the set that I bought last year was $5,289. That's coat and pants. and boots. He had his own helmet, so we didn't pay for that. The SCBA, in 2022, the department paid $138,000 for 15 air packs and one RIT pack, which is a rapid intervention. It's a rescue pack for a downed firefighter. And that's, 15-year service life. And these things are tested every year. So all the maintenance is kept up to date, and that's through an outside agency. And, when you think something's, well, they're still new, but, they're already 4 years old, so it comes up quick. Some of the other things that we're looking to replace is the extrication tools. Everyone around us seems to have like all these nice e-tools. They're battery powered. And it's amazing the amount of time that you can save just one guy going to a compartment, picking it up, going to the car and popping a door instead of taking out the power supply, rolling out the hoses, connecting your cutters, connecting your spreaders. But they don't give them away. We were fortunate to have most of our extrication equipment was donated. Some were hand-me-downs, but they kind of were from Webster Rescue, Webster Fire Department. And we're really grateful. The only thing that we ever bought was a set of cutters that we purchased, and everything else, even recently, we were able to put another extrication tool we had it on our ladder, but then it was more suited on our service truck. And then, we had more stuff in the station. I asked the other departments if they needed anything. East Thompson graciously took the remainder of the stuff. Don't know if the chief actually wanted it, but his guys took it.
It's in service.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm sure the Webster guys will be happy to hear that. So, that's basically it. So I think my reason, like everyone else's, is, we have to start putting money away. We do have a loan, like I said, for the ladder. We were paying on two of them before, but we paid the 2009 Rosenbauer off. But then we were paying on the 2008 American LaFrance ladder. And I can't even imagine what that'll be when we replace that. We bought this truck used probably 9 years ago. And 9 years ago, we paid $420,000 for it. So yeah, it's just crazy. Even trying to replace a service truck or this 2002. That's our heavy rescue in our EMS medical vehicle also. So, it wears a lot of hats. That's basically all I have. Everything is going up and it's just ridiculous. And I don't know how it's going to get better, but in order for us to continue to do what we do, and I've been around for 8,000 of these budget workshops. And you guys are up against a lot. I hear it. I've seen you guys buy half a dump truck one year and, but it's a little different ball game here. And I appreciate what you guys do. And I appreciate what Matt did too. As far as like the whole tax presentation and even though we weren't supposed to call it a tax, but it's put a lot of work into that. And it didn't pass by a 2/3 majority. still feel like that's the only way we're gonna be able to survive. But, you know, there's a lot of good people in this town. You know, maybe when they see that the increase for the fire departments is something that I'm on board with. So anyway, that's about it.
Give a brief summary of your balance sheet, your assets and liabilities, what you owe and what you own. Like how much you have in a savings account and how much what your debt is.
I just looked,
Approximate numbers.
I just looked at our key bank account and I think our total of, well, there's total of 6 accounts, but one of them is two of them are, like a $5,000 scholarship and another $18,000 scholarship, but it's 106,000. Minus the 18 and minus like 21,000. I could actually give you. So that's what we have in.
Oh, the 21 is for scholarships to the other side.
Yeah, we can't, so, right. We just.
What about the liability? How much do you owe?
One, I think, was it, I'd say 140,000. I think we owe $140,000 for the ladder. And we're that's a monthly payment. Yeah, I'm sorry, $190,358.76. But we have $4,900 for one scholarship. And
basically 198 minus about 25 or something in that range.
Yeah, and the other one's 18,000. Yeah, right.
Close enough.
Any other further questions? Chief, thanks for your passion and in your presentation tonight.
Thank you.
It is noted and appreciated. The need is still obviously there. Thank you. All right, letter N, Community Fire Department, Chief Evan Fosher. One more after this, we're getting there.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, I just don't.
Short one.
Thank you, sir.
At least you don't have to.
No, I told my mom to do that night. I just wanted to.
Be done in, I'd like to say 20 minutes. Yeah.
Please bear with me, everyone. This is my first time sitting in front of you all, so.
Mine too, it's a learning experience, you're in good company.
I don't know why we set it up with the chair right there.
I
know, right? I'm like, am I gonna be deposed? Like, what's going on here?
That's why I wear long sleeves. All right, go for it, Chief.
All right, like I said, I just got thrown into this a couple months ago. So please bear with me a little bit here. Billing, we have nothing on billing, donations, so far we're at about 1,500 for the year. Like everybody else, we're asking around 200,000. We don't have wages, payroll, taxes, due to us not having the ambulance anymore. Accounting fees, roughly a $50 increase, nothing substantial there. Telecommunications, again, same as the other chiefs, we need to upgrade our radios as well. We're looking at roughly $3,000 of radio. So, that's a big hit for us there. Utilities are nothing substantial. Everything's hovering around the same. Oil is maybe a little bit more. I don't know if anybody's noticed or bottled it lately, but it went up considerably in the last week or two since the cold snap came. So, and I've already had to order it twice in the last month. Everything else, Turnout gear, same thing, along with the other chiefs. It's a big hit for us. I'm at $4,300 a set. I recently had new members join that are interior certified. Had to purchase new gear for them. Parts and tools. We've had a lot of our equipment have issues for turnout gear. We've had a lot of repairs had to be done to it. So we've had to send out our jackets, whether it be our reflective gear or suspenders, anything like that. That's had to get shipped out and be repaired. Parts and repair for the building. Around 6,500 roughly. Supplies, about 1,000. Vehicle expenses, that's a big X factor for us. You can see in previous years, we've spent as little as 22,000 for the year and upwards of 38,000. This year, we've already spent 14,000 just on DOT inspections, DOT repairs. So I expect that it's going to be well over 40,000 so far for this upcoming year. Fuel, roughly the same about there. Education and training. I have members also wanting to go to Fire One. I'm also encouraging a lot of my people to take their EMRs. If they want to take their EMTs, that's fine as well. Ranging anywhere between $1,000 to $1,600 per student. Fundraising expenses. The past couple of years, we haven't been able to do a couple of our bigger fundraisers due to the increasing costs in food prices. So we increased that a little bit for this year. Debt service and loans. Last year we paid off our tower truck, which was the 25,000. This year we're looking to replace our garage doors because they're quite frankly up there in age. They're very slow. We constantly having people come in to repair them. And right there, we're looking at around at least $40,000 to replace 3 of our front doors, overhead doors. And we also have a bunch of equipment repairs that we're gonna have to send out as well. And if you notice right next to it there at the bottom, as of last year, we're roughly 44,000 down from where we were projected to be. So we're kind of bleeding a little bit. Our capitals, our engine truck, that's gonna have to get replaced. It's 2004. Like the other chiefs have expressed, it's gonna be $800,000 to $1 million. We've toyed with the idea of consolidating equipment to save on costs, but also reevaluate what we feel the town needs, what we can provide, if we can provide better services to the town. Our tanker, that's getting up there as well. That's 99. Thankfully, that truck has been good to us. Our tower truck, we paid 55,000 for that. That truck has been since paid off. Our rescue truck, that was purchased in 2008 for 400,000. That's since been paid off as of 2 years ago. 2.5 years. 2.5 years ago. We have a 2020. Oh, that's a typo there. I apologize. A 2006 Ford F-450 for a service truck. Paid off as well. Our Polaris is paid off at 23,000. And our Tahoe and our boat both paid off as well. Over the next 10 years, we're looking to replace our generator should we lose power. We're looking at it probably roughly around a $25,000 replacement for that. SCBA 4,500 bottles, we're looking at $1,000 a piece for those bottles. And we're gonna have to get spares for every pack that we have, which is roughly around 25 packs. So we're looking at about 25,000 over the course of the next 5 to 10 years, probably. The air packs themselves are all dated. We have to order brand new ones. Those are roughly around $10,000 a piece. And again, we're looking at around 25 of those are replaced, so $250,000. Coats, turnout coats and pants. Like I said, we're at $4,300. That covers our boots, pants, jackets, helmets and hoods and gloves. So that's a full set of turnout gear for one firefighter is $4,300.
Just boot, pants, boots, and gloves.
And hoods. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. The cost of engine 180, replacement of cost of engine 181, roughly around 700,000. That's being optimistic. 700 is a good start. And we'll also have to replace the furnace in our station as well. Since I think it's no secret in this room what happened at our department a few years back. We lost a lot of stuff, including workstations. So we'd like to replace some of that stuff with desks, chairs. In addition, would be great. But in addition, we're looking at millions and millions of dollars. $150,000 a year would put a good dent in it. Even $50,000 a year would put a pretty good dent in it. And the front of our station, definitely want to try to repave that in the next few years. If not, we're gonna have to try to get a loan to do that, and I estimate that to be at least $40,000 to redo that. And roof replacement, same thing. That's gonna have to be done soon as well. I haven't gotten a recent quote on that, but I'm sure it'd probably be in the $40,000-$50,000 range. So below we have all of our counts. And as of right now, we have no debt. But again, with replacing of the doors, we're looking at least 40,000 right there. We're looking to do that sooner than later.
If I might ask,
Mhm.
I'm looking at the sheet here, it says 2025.
Mhm.
And it has a lot of expenses, like replacing engine 181. Did you spend $350,000 in 25?
Sorry?
Did you actually spend $350,000 last year?
No, that's what we requested for last year. That's not what we actually.
Oh, okay.
I wish I could have spent $350,000 last year on an engine. That would have been nice.
I'm just trying to understand what we're showing here is.
I apologize if it's confusing. Like, is this my first year, and I'm sure there's a couple mistakes in there.
Did any of the 2025, did you spend any of that on all those looks?
I'm sorry?
On the 2025, like Steve was saying, on 181, you got turnout gear, you got airbags, bottles. Have you spent any money or just never did?
We never did. Well, I mean, we did buy a few sets of turnout gear last year, but that would have been it. I think it was 3 sets that we purchased last year. Last year it was around $3,800 for a set.
Is the 2025 more of a 2026 what you want to do?
Yes.
What I'm hearing?
Yes.
So the truck is 700, 350, 350, that.
Rough estimate, yes. Like I said, it's a solid starting point.
Yeah, okay, fair.
I don't have a exact figure without speccing a truck out, you know?
Sure.
Any other questions? All right, showing no questions. Chief, you fell into this role a few months ago. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good
Appreciate
work.
it.
Great first budget presentation.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, last but not least, West Thompson Fire Department, and I apologize, sir. I don't know who I'm introducing.
That level.
Oh, he's on. Oh, I just assumed you were here. I didn't see him on Zoom.
No, he's my proxy.
Oh, fair. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Just you.
Chief Whipple, are you on Zoom? We're gonna unmute you and you can present, sir.
Yes, sir. Wes Thompson is here.
All right, go ahead whenever you're ready.
All right, so just to give you guys some background information, 2025 was our busiest year. We did 337 calls for service. 272 of those were medicals, and 34 fire calls, 16 fire alarms. A big one being 4 water rescues and 10 MVAs. You're probably wondering why I bring up the water rescues. The one thing that you're not going to hear me put in as a request this year is for a boat. I was able to take and get Bunge's used boat last year for a grand total of $3,500.
Chief, do you have anything you can email us as far as a paper of your budget proposal? I know you're remote.
I sent it over to you guys.
Yep, she did.
Okay, we just hold on. We're gonna see if we can pull it up and just go over kind of. I can print it, yeah.
Yeah. I did email it over to you guys, but what?
What's that?
You okay if we just pause for a moment?
Yeah, Chief, do you mind if we pause and regroup that way we can print that out?
Sure.
We have it.
Otherwise, I just won't track.
Yeah, I get you. It's kind of.
You know, I have to wait.
I agree.
Just a small version.
It's not easy out there. For us. I'll give you a
It's too good of a camera, I can't make the gesture I want to.
Says first.
Right now, it's very key.
Even if it's the one in my office, I can even run up here. In the background.
The whole life changes every week and it's just a new one we can find with us. That's sort of what I'm doing. So
Coffee if you
everything in there. Yes, I do that because I like
I know.
How you doing over there, Archie? Doing good? Everything good? Little quiet tonight. It's good. That's what you're calling? You're tired. Rock out every night. Oh, my God. You're tired. It's after. Come on.
He's making notes about that.
I know you're frozen. That's the frozen frozen.
Ava and I went over a bunch of stuff. It's just a lot of stuff that's happening in like the leadership part of it, not the school as a totality.
Okay.
We have our NEASC accreditation coming up.
Yeah.
It's very exciting for the
That's
school.
great. Hope they painted the lockers.
They did not paint the lockers. We got some new lockers, but
I voted for it.
things.
It was an inside joke.
It's a good argument. So Bill dropped the ball, didn't get it printed out for us, see if thankful.
Oh.
Yeah, we have a cutoff at 9 o'clock.
I've come to expect it.
That's right, I'll come back and speak back.
Large print.
Fire departments that went small, they're getting no money. Large print, they're gonna get money. No,
That's very nice.
You're moving lots around. Next time. I don't know if it was snow. It's like a louder. It's just. This is. Same thing.
I'm waiting for Brian to make a comment about that.
Welcome.
Technology fails. I'll give you one.
Yeah, I think we're good. You want one of these to follow
Okay, Matt, I think we're good.
All right. So,
Well, the documents in front of us, so take us from the top, please.
all right, from the top. As I stated before, you will not hear me put in a request for a boat this year. As many of you know, you heard me for the last several years requesting a boat, correct?
I don't recall that.
I remember both.
So, I was able to purchase a boat this past year for $3,500 from Bungie Fire. That replaced my 20-year-old boat that rode on top of my engine. It now safely tows behind my service truck, which is a much better operation than what we had done in the past. So, I will not be requesting that for under the capital expenses. Same as the other departments, correct me on the number, 200,000, is that what did we say?
Yeah, that's the B.
Okay. Yes.
Matt?
Hang on.
You got 90,000 in here.
Okay.
You had 4 other departments asked for 200.
Okay.
Well,
Huh?
Money for a vote.
All right, you guys got to bear with me here.
Oh, then take your time, collect yourself.
Yeah. So, yes, there's 90,000 in here. In talking with my people, because we weren't able to take and get the fire advisory to pass, we're going to be in the same position that everybody else is in. So big thing is you'll see under the donations we got 5,471. So we no longer do the major fundraisers like what we had done in the past, as far as the roast beef dinners and spaghetti dinners. It's become harder and harder for us to get folks to take and do that. So what we do is we do 2 boot drives a year. So that's what we're doing currently. Telecommunications, 3,500. Electricity, we're probably looking at an increase on that. Oil and propane, probably going to see an increase on that just because of the current prices on stuff. We do plan for replacement on turnout gear under the capital. We typically do 2 sets of turnout gear a year. They have increased to $4,500 a set. Under tools, we put 10,000. That ranges anything from extrication equipment to any of the other tools that we get, exhaust fans, etc. Building, we are probably going to be looking at getting a new furnace here pretty soon, as that was leaking water here recently. Vehicle expenses, 12,000. A lot of that is stuff that they find at the DOT inspections, stuff that has to get fixed. We all with me here? All pretty quiet.
Oh, we're with you, sir. Keep going.
Okay. We're all quiet. So, educating, 2,500. That is everything from Fire 1 to up to EMT. And if anybody decides that they want to take any additional trainings, I'm all I am a strong proponent on training, so I push that. Uniforms, 2,000. Medical expenses, that would be all of our medical equipment. That's what we end up spending quite a bit of money on that every year. And there's always an increase. As I said earlier, we do have a large amount of medicals. Under the capital assets, you'll notice that there's a Polaris ATV on there. As most of you are fully aware, that was found to be stolen this past week out of our shed. So we'll be looking into getting something newer to replace that, as it is needed because of the dam. The oldest truck in our fleet is our forestry unit. We kind of nursed that to get through. As of right now, that's what I've got for you guys. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to be there in person. But as of right now, that's what I have for you. Any questions from me?
Chief, I have a question. So we're updating this figure from 90,000 to 200,000. Just like many one of your counterparts and your fellow chiefs have presented.
Yep.
Obviously, this jump. Are you justifying this with upcoming capital purchases of new equipment?
So to justify it on my end would be the replacement of the furnace, a replacement of the generator that is 20 years old, and that would be a replacement of the UTV, along with some security upgrades. And I also need to upgrade my kitchen.
Let it be known that there's been an insurance claim filed on that ATV.
Yes.
And that is currently being worked through today. So I would strike that from your list.
Okay. I don't think that's going to be the full replacement value for that.
We can talk about that tomorrow off meeting.
Yeah.
I have a suggestion.
Go for it.
I think it'd be helpful if, because we don't have the capital side, the comments, the TV and others. I think if this could get updated, particularly on the income side, the donations, fundraising are blank, the 90,000 we talked about already. I think if the base P&L can be updated and then capital submitted in whatever fashion they like, but similar to the other departments.
Yep, I can do that. Not a problem.
Balance sheet information.
Yeah, but I think we need to get a refresh from that.
I will most certainly send you guys a refresh. You'll have it probably later tomorrow afternoon.
Everybody good with that?
Yes.
Get a refresh on it.
And also what equipment is dated.
Yes.
Same as the other one. Exactly, Larry.
All right. Any other questions for Chief Whipple? Showing no other questions, we'll move on to our next section. Other budgets as needed. I do not have anything tonight on our calendar. We've made great time. All the work for the presenters tonight. I have not. Everyone did a fantastic job. To our public safety agencies that are here tonight, I'm beyond thankful for your continued ability to show up and try to continue to excel. Thank you. Nikki?
Just a quick thing, I know she had to leave, but she did prepare for the Board of Finance. I just wanted to make sure that everybody kind of got a copy of the student liaison report. There's a couple of dates of some stuff coming up that people might be interested in, so just, she put in the work to do it. I just wanted to make sure there's a couple of extra copies if anybody wants it. And thank you to the fire departments. I appreciate all you do.
I had a couple of quick ones still staying inside the 9 o'clock window. One is the very late correspondence of a citizen that we'll address next week. I don't want the citizen to think we're ignoring when it came in, minutes before the meeting. So we'll address that at the next meeting. Moving back to the building office, building official.
Yes.
It's a big increase. And when I say that, it's not big and I don't want it, it's big and I don't like it. I understand it. I think it would be helpful for everyone to see, like, what are the metrics behind? They're doing so much there, the increase in permits and the activity. If there's a report or whatever he uses to, run the office, I personally think that would be helpful, but then you could see that clearly he's working, crazy hours. But
John's putting
lack
in,
of metrics, it's, I got this
Yeah.
thing going. I think if we knew the number of permits and, over the years, however he runs it, we don't need to create a new document and more work for him, but whatever
Sure.
he uses to measure his office, I think that'd be really useful.
and I'll work on that tomorrow. I will say, not only is John working above and beyond his allotted hours on volunteer status, John has taken on a lot of tasks, building maintenance tasks here, in this building and assisting with the library.
And he inherited
A lot.
backlog of problems.
A lot.
And then on the fire side, because I'm sure we're gonna be talking about this again, appreciate all the presentations and, we're all disappointed with the fire district vote. Clearly about 500 or so votes decided for all 9,000 people. I think, I'm gonna mess it up, but maybe it was Evan that mentioned about consolidation of equipment.
Yeah.
I think that would be helpful, as you begin to think about the town as a whole, it's hard for us, we see all the different needs, but what does that look like kind of?
An operational need.
Yeah, almost like
Yeah.
a combined kind of town-wide, talking on the capital side, I get your P and L and your ongoing yearly, but more capital. I don't know, I think it would be helpful to see, these reports are great, we merge them somehow, you understand the totality of the. What does all this mean when we pull it all,
Capital requirements are substantial, not just the current year, or coming years thereafter, huge.
It's like I expressed to him, I've been only in this position for about 3-4 months. And the objective is to find out how this department's gonna survive the next 10+ years.
And to speak to that as a town as a whole.
Yeah.
that's all.
I respect that sentiment. All right. Showing no other business today, motion for adjournment.
The meeting is ours.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, everyone. So we have one next week and 2 the week after.
Yes,
That's next week. Next week, we're 6 o'clock.
we are 6 next week.
6.